hypnotherapist in Arlington. I've been doing past life regressions for about 12 years, and for the last 5 years, I also do a session called the Life Between Life session. And you know what? I forgot to bring you my brochures. I just remembered. If you stop by my booth, there are coupons for 10% off the session. But I learned from Michael Newton, who wrote Journey Souls, Investigating Souls, how to do that session, and it's a phenomenal session. And the reason I mention that is because since I learned that session, I'm so glad I did it, not only because I love doing the Life Between Life sessions, but it really changed how I do my past life regressions. It just changed my whole thinking. Because before, I would just take people to 1 to 3 past lives. We kind of hope we were getting where we needed to get, and sometimes the subconscious mind would go into one of it, sometimes it doesn't. And a lot of times the person didn't even know what they wanted. They were just, just curious. And that's fine, but if you take a little more time and you bring a person to their guide, it's a totally different session. It's just phenomenal how much they learn. So without too much more about that, I just wanted to this time at the expo, instead of talking about the Life Between Life session, talk about how it's really easier to connect with our guides than you think it is. And really, a lot of it is just us. I mean, we just think of it, most of us, and some of you, of course, maybe don't in the audience, but most of us think of it as this big thing, and how am I going to get from here to there? Do I even have guides? And I just want you to know that we all of us, every one of us has more than one guide. We have one primary guide, as well as other guides, and some guides, your primary guide can stay with you throughout your incarnation, probably throughout many incarnations, over and over and over. But then you're going to have other guides that come and go as you need them, depending on what's going on in your life, maybe what you're doing as a living. They may be coming in to help you with life purpose. But I want to mention, first off, let's just kind of explore just for a second why we don't feel connected and why we aren't connected. And really, I've been thinking about this, and it's, again, it's so simple. It's that, first off, we just forgot. Most of us just simply forgot that we have guides. We come down here and we plan it. And believe me, I do those sessions where I bring people to the spirit world. We see, you're planning your life, and you planned to have this support system with your guides. But yet when you get down here, and as a soul, we just feel so, oh, I can do that. We love this challenge. But when we get here, and then we get the ego here with us and everything, we just forget. We get so caught up. It's like we're the playwright, and we're the actor in our play. And we've got these directors hired, so to speak, to help us. Those are our guides. Well, we start doing the play, and we just totally forget. We not only forget that they're there to help direct us to do the right acting, but we forget what we wrote the play about half the time. I mean, how many of us have gone through, what is my life purpose? We should really know that. But because we've gotten so distanced from the right side of our brain, most of us, and the subconscious mind, and we're not meditating as much as we should, and we're not connecting with our higher self, we've totally forgot what we're here for a lot of times. Anyway, so that's the main thing, is just we forgot. But then there's some of us who, okay, well, you know that you have a guide. You probably have a guide, but you expect them to just drop in on you. It's like, well, it's their deal. But the thing is, it's not their deal. They are not supposed to interfere with us. They are supposed to be a support system. So, now if there's a life or death situation, I have seen them interfere. But otherwise, they really, not only do they try not to, I don't think they're supposed to. I mean, I've even had some guides tell clients in sessions, we aren't allowed. So it's like, if you're not asking for help, believe me, it's not that they're not there. They're standing there patiently, and you're just not called to them. So kind of keep that in mind. So then, a lot of times I've noticed in sessions that I have, people will ask their guides, because I always have them bring questions with them. I 13 questions that they have for their guide. And a lot of times the question is, why have you been here for me? And again, I want to reiterate that the guides are there for us. And what I have felt from them, because I kind of know and feel things a lot as far as my psychic channels, and I can feel that these guides are, I don't know if I want to use the word sad or frustrated, because you know that they kind of just, they're different from us. But there is a certain heaviness that they feel because, and they've told me before that they feel like they're standing behind a big, big glass wall. And they're motioning to us, you know, like, listen to me, I'm here. And we're just, you know, we totally ignore them. So probably that's what's going on there. I mean, believe me, you do have guides. And not only that, but when I have sessions, and I'm not kidding, they always show up for the session. I mean, it isn't like I have to guess, ooh, I hope so-and-so's guy will show up today. You know, when I first started doing these sessions, I would actually go into meditation, and I would ask, I go, please show up today. I don't even have to worry about that. They always show up. Always. Now, it's possible that a person won't allow themselves to relax and do a session, but if they'll relax and go through the hypnosis, the guides are always there. They're always on time. And not only that, in the last few months, they've even ended the session for me, because I have a tendency to go over. They have been ending at the exact time. I'll look at the clock and go, oh my goodness. It's just so interesting. So they're very in touch with our world and with us. So just ask. Make sure you ask, because they're really not supposed to help you if you don't. Okay, so let's say that you want to connect with your guide, but you're just not sure how. Again, I say we make it much more difficult. All you have to do is say, Lisa, I mean, just go in, close your eyes for a minute. You can be at work, you can be in the car. Well, maybe you shouldn't close your eyes. You know what I mean. But so you can just close your eyes for a minute and say, I know you're there, guide, help me. Do it before you go to bed. That's a good time. Say, come to me in my dreams. I need help. When I wake up, I want to remember you. I want to remember what you're telling me. I want the answer to what I asked. And then sometimes people, and I don't know why this happens, but a lot, and because, I mean, I've done it myself, why we do this. But there are people like me that have connected with guides and then just forget about it after a while. Why? I don't know. You know, you just like a challenge, I guess. Because it is very nice to have them, you know, not ring with us. But the other thing I think, and I knew that I was really connecting with them, I think, but I think a lot of other people feel like, well, I thought I connected with my guide once, but I just think it was my imagination. And, you know, one of the reasons that people feel that way, and they'll say that in hypnosis sometimes too. Am I just, right in the middle of the session, am I just imagining this? Well, here's the deal with that whole thing. Your right brain is so different from the left side. The left side is analytical, logical, rational. The right side thinks in images, and it's feelings, and knowings, and it's intuition, and it's just so totally different. If you're very connected to your left side of your brain, it will feel like, oh, I'm imagining this, because you're not used to thinking with the right side. If you're an artist, on the other hand, who's very easily goes back from left to right, because that's the words in their right brain, you won't have a problem with hypnosis or connecting with your guides if you wish to. So keep that in mind. It is not, you know, it's not a logical thought process that goes on in the right brain. It's more like it flows. And you just need to just let it happen. You just get quiet for 5 or 10 minutes, close your eyes, ask your guide to come in. And you know, as I say this, I know that a lot of you would say after 5 minutes, nothing's happening. Don't give up. You know, breathe deeply. Use a meditation tape. guided meditation, use guided imagery, whatever, just to get yourself, whatever you need to do to relax. Or go lay in a hammock. It's the same thing. You don't have to meditate. You know, like people think of meditation, you go, oh my God, you know, I have to have a mantra or something. You know, no, you don't. You know, it's not a big thing. You just relax and get centered. And just remember that the ego is very threatened by this whole process. So a lot of times, your analytical mind, ego, will come in, nothing's happening here, nothing's happening, push it aside. Think of it as moving it to the back seat of the car. You know, you need your subconscious mind driving a car to connect with guides or to, you know, meditate or to do hypnosis, any of those things. So how do you connect? Well, it's very, very easy, and unfortunately, I was going to just go ahead today and do a little meditation with you to connect you to your guides, but we thought we were doing a play here, and I thought I had an hour, not a half an hour, and I've been cut. So we won't be able to do that. However, I did, when I found out this might be happening, I had 5 hours, I think, last night, and I made about 15 CDs, and I'll have them for sale out here. If you want to buy one, they're $5. It's just about what it cost me to make them, because I really, really wanted you to have that experience. It's a short 28-minute, easy deal. I mean, you just sit down or recline and close your eyes, and, you know, it's, I've made it very simple for anyone to use. I made sure that it wasn't real visual in case you're not a visual person. So it doesn't matter really what sense, you know, because some people are visual, some people aren't at all. Some people are more audio, some people are feeling, some people are knowing. And it won't matter with this CD. So anyway, but that's all you need to do. You don't need my CD. You can do this yourself. I'm just saying that was an example. I'm sorry I won't be able to do that today, but it's a matter of practice. And then here's the big thing. If you get a journal, I mean, it doesn't have to be a journal, it can be a spiral notebook, whatever. And whenever you start this process, every time you do a little meditation, I don't care if it's only 10 minutes, if you get anything at all, even if it's stupid, even if you think your imagination did that to you, write it down in that journal. And the key is don't edit it. Don't look at it again for 3 to 4 weeks. You will be amazed. And now that will help 2 things. One thing, it will help you to realize that you do in fact get information from your gut. Because some of it will blow you away. They'll tell you something, you look 4 weeks later and go, oh man, that did happen. You know, it's something that you just wouldn't have been able to do. The other thing is it will help you to be able to discern between what is just your grand thinking and what is coming through from the guide. Because there is that process that you have to learn to discern. Okay, this is coming from the guide or from me. But it's just practice, and it's not that hard if we just practice it. It really isn't. Now, what to expect when you do connect with your guide is expect them to do just about anything. I mean, they'll do everything, but nothing scary. But I mean, they will do anything sometimes. I mean, they can be hilarious. The humor in the spirit world is just amazing. And they may show up in clothing. Well, first off, let me back up. They are a light body. They don't really have a body. But most of the time for us, they will come up, show us a body. And if you're not visual, you may not see that or not see it very clearly. That's fine. But they will tend to show us themselves as a human body, just to make us feel more comfortable. But notice the clothing sometimes. It's kind of funny. They may dress, well, oftentimes they'll dress like in a toga or something like that. But sometimes they'll dress kind of in an odd way, and if you think about it, there's a deeper message with how they're dressed. And sometimes they're just all out funny, you know.
If you ask for their help, because sometimes you don't see them at all.
Well, if you're not a visual person, where you when you're meditating, some people aren't very visual. Some people are more like feelers, kinesthetic. Some people are more auditory, they hear things. Some people feel things. A lot of healers, now they may also be visual, but most healers, I've noticed, are feelers. And they very much, a lot of times they'll see colors swirling, but they may not see objects real clearly. It's more colors dancing and things like that. Not always. Yeah, not everybody's got that, the visual gift. So it's important too to have questions for your guide. And just, you know, you can really, you don't have to worry about that during your, you know, meditation or quiet time. You don't have to call them in. But just have, you know, just give them the intent before you relax, you know. This is what I want to know. Whether it's that you're going to meditate or you're going to go to sleep. If they know what you want to know and you're asking, they will try their darndest to get this message to you. Now, I want to mention one thing though. They oftentimes will get messages through in the most bizarre ways. If you ask the guide for a question, you better be watching for the answer because you may see it on a billboard. I know that sounds bizarre, but you may see it on a billboard. I mean, all of a sudden, boom, it's right there. How they do this stuff, I don't know. But they will come through friends. Your friend might all of a sudden give you the answer. And then the next day you'll go, wow, it was uncanny how you did that. And they'll go, huh, what? They don't even remember it. Or they'll say, I don't know why I said that. So really, you know, pay attention. Pay attention to when you first turn on the TV or you first turn on the radio, especially in the car. They love it in the car.
You could hear it from the radio or TV, you get your answer.
When you first turn it on, notice what you do. I'm just saying that's one, those are two avenues that they could try to get your attention.
Okay.
And if you're asked, my point is though, today, is that if you're asking for information, that's when you're going to get it. I mean, they're already trying to influence you, but they've got their hands tied behind their back if you're not asking. So if you ask, really pay attention because it can come from many different directions. It'll blow your mind how many ways it can come in. And when you connect, and on my CD I kind of do this, so let me mention this because that's right, you won't know this. When you can connect with your guide, ask them what you need to do to get a hold of them. But usually they'll say, just call my name. So ask their name. Always get a name. It can be complicated. It can be simple. Actually, their names are very complicated. But if they think they can't get it across to you, they'll just say a real short name like Jim, Bob, really. Because it means because their name is so unpronounceable and human that they can't get it across. So just take what they give you, and then you can call them. Also, ask them to give you a symbol that when they want to contact you, to send you that symbol. And they will. They'll give you a symbol. You could, off the top of my head, some of the symbols clients have gotten was like a blue jay, what did I have? A red rose ball. I'll never forget that. I can't. But it can be just anything. Sometimes it's a word. I've had tap on the shoulder. Now, not everybody's going to get that. But
Do you give them your name or their name? I'm sorry.
oh, you would want to ask them their name.
Their name. Okay.
Their name. The guy's name.
Okay.
Yeah, because then it's easier to call them. Not that you have to have it, but I think it helps to
I
connect.
understand.
And let's see, I think, oh no, I wanted to mention one other thing. Again, a lot of this is in that CD, and I mentioned it along the way, so I'm not missing out on too much, but don't expect to actually hear their voice. I see that with clients a lot. They get very frustrated. We'll be right in the middle of a session, they're getting all these wonderful answers to all these questions, and they'll go, I don't really hear their voice. And it's like, you're not going to hear their voice. You're speaking to them telepathically. So don't expect to hear their voice, okay? And that's why I say with the journal, that helps you discern. Because at first it is kind of tough. Well, not everybody. Some people are just naturally good at discerning and knowing the difference. But some of us aren't. And so you'll have to learn that. Okay, was that my guide or was that me? But if you do that journal, I guarantee you, within 3 months, you'll be connecting like crazy. You'll be able to discern who's saying what. I mean, it really helps. Yeah.
Can you see our guide here?
Well, I'm sorry.
Can you see our guide here?
No. No, because I'm not here in the capacity to do psychic readings. Okay?
One of my guides sitting here, because the last session I told you, you know, the speakers.
I will bet, but I understand what you're saying. And I will bet there are a lot of guides here. I'll bet it's standing room only with the guides. There's probably more guides here than there are people. Oh, yeah. It's just that I'm not seeing them. When I see them, it's in here. I don't see them.
At a fundamental level, at the very earliest stage, how are we linked to a guide? Do we have a thought on that? Or?
You know, this sounds crazy, but they're actually assigned to us. But I don't know exactly. There's 2 levels. There's there's our guides, and then there's also our council of elders, which is even higher than that. And the guides kind of come and go, but our primary guide is assigned to us. Now, once in a while, if you're a pretty advanced soul, this is interesting, but I've seen this over and over and over, where if you're a pretty advanced soul, you may have someone in your soul group that is not on the plane at this time, and they're helping you as a guide. But they're at the same evolutionary level that you are. That only happens with souls that are more advanced. But it's fairly common. I'm fighting it over and over and over. But otherwise, they're assigned to us. But I say that, but it sounds so cold. It's not like that. I mean, when I do my sessions and somebody's really, really deeply relaxed and they meet their guide, 9 times out of 10, they're like, whoa. I mean, this is like intense love. I mean, this guy, I'm just getting chills just thinking about it. I mean, it's like you can sense the electricity in the room. I mean, it's like unconditional love for us. And when we die, that is the first place we go, is to our guide. Our guide's standing there waiting.
And the primary guide can be with you for many lifetimes.
Many lifetimes. It would only be if they moved for some reason, evolutionary wise, or you didn't need them anymore for some reason. Maybe they're helping with certain aspects of your personality. I mean, soul personality, they say that. And if you conquered that, then you may move on to other guides that can help you. Yeah. They love us like you. I don't know how many of you, with a raise of hands, how many of you have ever really connected with your guide and felt, do you feel that unconditional love?
You know, I tried. They said, but then her name.
Oh, you got her name. Good.
I got the answer. So what's your name? What's your name? I was like, meditated and said, Edna. Are you sure Edna? Then I asked him, what's your name? Edna. And then after 2 days, Edna. So I know she will be.
Actually, they're genderless,
I
but
know.
But when they come to show us themselves, they'll show us male and female usually. Hardly anybody says I can't tell, but that's just for honor.
For me, the word guide is a new word. What is a guide? I thought we were going to talk about angels somehow.
Well, you know what? Guardian angel is the same thing as a spiritual guide. And I meant to say that in the very beginning, is that it's the same thing.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's just how you think it. That's all. Any other questions?
The reason why I'm here tonight is because I was in a third eye meditation one night about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she walked across me this way, closer to me, and I looked at her and I said, Violetta? like I knew her, but I hadn't seen her forever.
Yeah.
So I said, Violetta? And she just looked at me and lowered her head and just kept walking. That was about 3 weeks ago. And I've asked for her, and she hasn't come back. Hasn't shown herself. And so, that's why I'm here, just to hear you talk, so I can figure out.
Now, how do you know that was a guy?
I just feel it. I don't know. It wasn't. I mean, I wasn't dreaming. I was total meditation.
No, I'm not, no, I know you had the experience, but I'm just saying, it could be your guy, but I'm just saying, it
Right.
could also be somebody in your soul group that means a whole lot to you. I'm just surprised that the guy wouldn't come back. Have you given the guy, you given her opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, I've asked going into other meditations at night or whatever, or just, again, probably 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, okay, so again, coming here, to hear you, to ask the question. I haven't asked a question, so to speak. So I can do that.
Yes.
To attempt to have that connection.
Yes.
Whether she got it or not, I don't know, but at the same time, I feel that she is. So, whomever, I even say other guys, bring a friend, I mean.
I feel like she's real close to you. I mean, I'm trying to check in here, and I feel like she's real close to you. Yeah, ask some questions. I'm not sure why it's almost like the timing was off, or, I don't know. They can do a million things at one time, so it isn't that she's happen. Yeah, ask some questions. But, because just be like you seeing somebody on the street you haven't seen in a long time. Hi. But if you're both going your way, yeah, you need to call on them.
Because if she was assigned to me, and I've been here a while since alive, then I've known her, and that's why I said, saying her name was the question as she walked by. And so that was the kind of the.
Did she turn, smile?
Yeah, she turned up, looked at me,
Uh-huh.
and just kind of, just a small little, and then turned back and just kept walking. But she came from over there and came this way.
Yeah.
And that's when she looked up when I called her name.
Yeah, I'd ask her a question. And one of the things I'd be wanting to ask her is, are we working on something together now or in the future? It could be that you jumped the gun on that. It's like, yeah, she is going to be there, but I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I figured exactly.
I don't know, because usually they would just stop to say, like, I'm not sure. I would ask them. Just ask her. Isn't that cool? How I knew who she was? And, yeah.
I know, I just figured something.
Carole, on your meditation CD, I think you said, how long did you say it was?
How long?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 28 minutes, and actually, at our purpose.
Right, and I'm thinking there have been times when, I hate to admit it, but half an hour can be hard to carve out. And if I do carve it out, I might get interrupted. Is there a way that your CD that I can work with that?
Actually, you can. The way I made that CD is, it's a track a minute. Now, it doesn't mean that when you're listening to a guided meditation CD, it doesn't mean you hear each track. You don't know that it's a track a minute. But what's nice about that is that, let's say you get in a quiet place, you recline, and you just started this thing. You're 5 minutes into it, it's only 28 minutes, you just want to get this done. And somebody bugs you for some reason. Somebody walks through the room, you can rewind it a minute or two. Every time you punch it, it'll be 1 minute. So you can, it almost makes the CD like it's fast forward or rewindable.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it's only 28 minutes, so that I figure everybody has time for 28 minutes.
You kept mentioning sober.
Yeah, in the spirit world, we all have, there's different soul groups. Like, there's like big soul groups, or there's like 1,000 people that you know. But then there's your primary soul group, and those are people that are so close to you. That's like your real family. You think you're close to some people here on earth, not even comparable to people in that soul group, in the spirit world. I mean, when you are with those people, you're just like, you're so content.
Are these guides people we knew and dislike or they're not?
They can be. That's what I was saying earlier. Now, the ones that are assigned to you know, because they're a higher elevation than you.
I mean, how would he know it's Galetta? How would he know it's Galetta?
How would you know that?
How would he know it's Galetta, the name Galetta? Didn't he say the guy's name was Galetta?
How does he know that?
Yeah.
Well, he just knew it because he remembered her. Just remembered.
Did she say I'm Galetta, or did he give her that name?
Well, you'd have to ask him, but it sounds like you just remembered. Right?
Say again?
You just remembered her name.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sure. Yeah.
He remembered.
He said he recognized her. And who she was.
Yeah. Were you meditating?
I was doing a third eye meditation.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. If you're meditating pretty deeply, yeah, there's a lot of things you
But
can do.
did they say I'm Galetta, or did they say I'm Galetta, or?
If you ask their name, yeah, they'll give you a name. Sometimes it's complicated, and if it is, I would say, spell it for me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep letting you questions.
That's okay.
When I first started working with my guides, I have never gotten names. Now, the angels, like my husband, he got the names of his angels. He got names for his guides. For mine, when I work with them, I can tell who's different, but the name really isn't important. In the work that you do, because I know a lot of times people get really wrapped up in the name, because we're recognized here by names. In the work that you do, is it really critical that you get a name?
And I used to do the same thing. I used to feel like my guides were just well, and to an extent that still happens, because when my clients' guides are in the room and my guides are in the room, I'll feel this big lump of guides in the left top corner of the room. I don't know what it is there.
It's fine.
But recently I tried to get myself to discern or distinguish between mine, and I have distinguished between three of them. But like you, it's not all that important when you have a name. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You guys have a session with you. Can you see my guide?
No, my whole, here, let me explain something to you. My life purpose is to connect you to your guide, to your higher self, for you to get the answers. I tried doing it the other way, or I could get the answers for other people. I don't like doing it. I like people to get their own answers, because it'll mean more to you.
I know whomever my guide is there helped me many times. I fell asleep
Then why would you need me to tell you anything? Trust what you're getting.
You know, I don't want you to see what she looked like.
Oh, I see.
My point is that you have a session whether you can see what actually.
No, because I think you're confusing a session with me as more like a reading, and it's not like a session with me. It's a hypnosis session where I relax you through hypnosis, and then you will see your guide here. Not out here. Anyway. Now, if you're not visual at all, that could be a problem, although most people are visual enough to see something in their guide. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be for me to get it.
Okay.
I don't want to get it. I want you to get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Anything else?
The core council, or the what do you call it?
The council of
The
elders. Yeah.
I'm thinking core council in the sense of, because you're so much closer to them. You know, are they the, I'm not trying to phrase this, do they have that much influence on your life without you even knowing it?
The council of elders, actually, it would depend on the life. But no, I mean, see, here's the gift. Here's the whole thing. We plan this life, and, we think that, these other people are telling us what to do maybe or something. Maybe they let us do whatever we want. I mean, we come up with, I'm sorry, I should say this, but I have seen some stupid lives. I mean, that we have planned. I mean, not stupid lives, but stupid plans for a life. I mean, there's no way it was going to work. You know, it was too much for a person to handle. You know, they plan abuse and this and that and this, and it's like, no way. You know, they're going to end up a basket case. You know? But when we're souls, we think, oh, I can do that. That'll be easy. And our counsel and our guides, they might say, you know, you might want to rethink that. But if we insist, they'll go, okay. And now, if you ask your counsel for help, they'll help you. They've come in, when I walked the labyrinth a couple of times, they came in, which really blew my mind. It wasn't until I had a between life session, because I didn't even know about it before that, but they came in twice. So they can come in like guides, but they don't often. And really, they're not as interested in this particular life as much as they are all over our lives. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Anything else?
You said you walked a labyrinth and then came in twice? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It probably made no sense to you. I just meant I wasn't meditating or anything. And there's a lot of times I talk to my guides. I talk to my guides constantly. I mean, my husband just goes, I'll talk to him out loud. My husband's like, God, Carole. But anyway, but the Council of Elders, I didn't know they would do that. And I was walking a labyrinth at the Unity Church in Fort Worth on 2 different Sundays, one Sunday and then the next Sunday. And they came in and started talking to me. And I was like, wow, this is the council. It's like, they're like, yes? I was like, wow, I didn't know they would do that. And I forget that. I don't remember what they said. It was something, I was heading in the wrong direction just a little. And they wanted to make sure I understood something. Because I was kind of taking something the wrong way.
That's a good point then. How could you be going the wrong way if that's when they came in? So we do that.
Yeah, they do.
And then they step in because that's the time
Yeah.
to give it to us.
Yeah, but again, they won't step in if we're not asking. And I do a lot of asking. So probably they do nothing. But I'm like an asker. You know, I ask questions constantly of people, of spirits, of guides, anybody. I ask questions. You know what I mean though? I mean, I just wanted to bring that home because a lot of people just aren't asking. You know? And we're like going, where's the answers? It's like, well, where's the question? You know? But,
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
So where you said that there's some groups not on this earth and spiritual. Are there some groups here on earth with you as well?
oh, yeah. Some of the people in your soul group are on Earth. Some of them aren't. Some of them could be across the world and we don't know them. Or don't know them. Yeah.
So you may never know.
No, you may never in this life. If interestingly enough, when you have a life between life session and you go to the soul group, even if that person's here, you'll see them there. And it's because we take a certain amount of our energy and we leave it in the soul. Let me backtrack. What I meant to say is we only take a certain amount of energy here with us on Earth. And some of us are real energetic, lots of energy, life's easy, you probably brought a lot of energy. Somebody who didn't bring much energy at all could be really tired. So, or have problems connecting, problems working. Maybe not, but I'm just saying that can't happen.
So are those soul groups, are they all of them, are they your soulmates or?
Well, I mean, I consider all of those people, because it's just a small group, you know, it's like 5 to 25 people. I consider them all my soulmates, yeah. But, you know, but you're going to have, like, you know, traditionally people think of the soulmate as someone of the opposite sex, and they're going to marry them. Yeah. Okay, so, well, I mean, yeah, that's cool and that's important, but you probably have at least 2 of those people that you like to be intimate with. And And you can't be in every life with those people willing to learn about relationships. You just wouldn't. Same with parents, you know, your parents. You can't have them in your soul group all the time. What would you learn? You need to either be much less involved in them so they can teach you, or the opposite, come in as a child and teach your parents. You know?
Do you recognize them? Do you recognize them?
Some people do. Well, I think you always kind of do, but I think people are confused. And sometimes you run away from them because, especially if you're young, because it's too intense. Nobody's telling you to go, I'm surprised.
I think
Yes, I need to go.
I think you're the last one.
Okay. I'm sorry, did you say?
They were just saying you're the last speaker.
You're the last,
You're not, Cheryl.
You're the last speaker.
Well, they told me they were doing a play. That's it. Any other questions?
Would you tell us about the first time you realized you had died? Because you sound like a Christian, you sound very, very sincere and knowledgeable about this. When you first realized.
You know what I think, although I didn't realize it until really not too long ago, but I think my guide was with me when I was a child, and I called her Penny. She was an imaginary playmate, and I wouldn't let anyone sit on Patty. I mean, if you sat on Patty, you were mine. I don't care how little I was, I'd fight you away. I mean, nobody was going to sit on Patty. And so I'm really thinking now that was my guide. I don't know. It's kind of come and gone, and